This is Point Blank. We bring you this edition each week based on all the events and developments in Sri Lanka. We share what we think honestly and directly, not holding anything back. We say what we think with no bias or no malice to anybody. This is our way of being point blank. Bribery Commission got its act together. It seems that Bribery Commission has woken up from the deep slumber and trying to act without fear or prejudice. Well, we have to wait and see how the Bribery Commission will continue, but at least the fact that they have the courage to summon Public Relations Minister Mervyn Silva before the Bribery Commission needs our praise. According to the official at the Commission, the complaint relates to the luxury vehicles used by his son, Malaka Silva. The complaint relates to the luxury lifestyle of minister and his family when there is no verifiable source of income other than his ministry salary. According to the complaint, the minister does not possess huge assets which allow him to purchase the type of luxury cars used by his son. Minister Mervyn Silva better come clean, showing how he accumulated his vast wealth rather than trying to be a fool before the entire world by proposing to marry an UN official. To put it point blank, Bribery Commission has to demonstrate its backbone and its integrity in investigating the complaint without any bias or fear and take whatever necessary legal action to punish Minister Mervyn Silva if complaint has any validity. Let action against Mervyn Silva be a lesson to any other corrupt and bribe-taking MPs in the Sri Lankan Parliament. Master batsman Kumar Sangakkara blasts Nishantha Ranathunga. Kumar Sangakkara, one of the most respected and outstanding cricketers the Sri Lanka has ever produced, has been harassed by SLC Secretary Nishantha Ranathunga, according to an email sent by Sangakkara. It is high time that these cricket officials who played a major role in making the cricket board bankrupt and brought so much disrepute to cricket in Sri Lanka leave the field, so to say. As Sangakkara said in his email, cricket administration has become a one-man show. The whole Sri Lanka knows who that one man is. To put it point blank, Nishantha Ranathunga, why don't you leave the cricket board forever? You have done enough damage to cricket, and I assume you have accumulated enough wealth through cricket board for many generations. Kumar Sangakkara is a national treasure. So leave him alone and please leave cricket board peacefully. Gang came looking for files. The strange home invasion and attempted robbery at the home of Sunday leader journalist and the head of the Sri Lanka Journalist Trade Union, Mandana Abevikrama, was another attempt to send fear into the journalists in Sri Lanka. Nobody can say who was behind this, yet people who can think logically know that a gang would not come for a robbery and stay about 3 hours going through files if they are not looking for more than money or jewelry. More than anything, it is the trauma that not only Mrs. Abevikrama but a 10-year-old child and her elderly parents had to go through, not knowing what the gang members would do to them. As one gang member had told Mrs. Abevikrama, it's a contract given by somebody. So finding this somebody would be the key. It is admirable the way the police acted upon receiving a call through their emergency line. Those police officers should get all the credit and their actions should be rewarded the best possible way. But the question is, who this person is gave the contract. Let's see whether the authorities make every effort to find out this person. According to Mrs. Abevikrama, one gang member had called a person to get instructions. Tracing that phone call could be very easy given the new technology. To put it point blank, there are cowards who try to intimidate journalists who carried out their journalistic work unbowed and unafraid. As Nishantha Ranathunga said to all of us, whether you deserve their sacrifice is another matter. Let's show the cowards who sent paid contractors and killers to intimidate journalists. Enough is enough. Give the clean water now. Promises are not enough. Rathupasswala in Valiveria is in the news again. It's in the news because of the attempt to open the factory accused of being responsible for groundwater pollution and the brave actions of the area residents for their strong objections for the resuming operations of this controversial factory without properly addressing the pollution issue. Some politicians might say that there is a third force or foreign conspiracy in the protests these area residents are carrying on. But the simple fact is, when your basic need, like clean water, is being denied, nobody wants a third force to come to the street to ask for their basic human rights. If a country has enough money to make all facilities for night racing to make a few rich kids happy, why cannot the country afford to give clean water for people? We hope Venerable Siridhammathero, who is providing the leadership to the area residents, do not have to begin another fast unto death campaign. I'm sure no political leader in Sri Lanka would allow a Buddhist monk to go through that kind of suffering so that people in Rathupasswala can get clean water. To put it point blank, Rathupasswala people has shown the true Sri Lankan spirit in fighting against all odds for what is rightfully theirs. Maybe the opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe can learn some lessons from the people of Rathupasswala how to fight against injustice. Word of praise. It is admirable the actions of the Army Commander Lieutenant General Dayaratnayaka Naik. It was reported that 4 senior army officers who were on duty at the time of the Valiveria was relieved from duties. According to the army, this action was taken in order to facilitate the inquiry process. We all know that Army Commander is a well-respected professional army officer, and we expect him to make sure that justice not only be done, but seen to be done. Now, it's the political commentary.
Nawai Pillai, the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, was in Sri Lanka last week. Of course, she met many, including the President Mahinda Rajapaksa, as well as the opposition leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, and many other civil society activists and other people. Of course, when such an important person comes, there will be all kinds of positions and political debates happen in a country. And Sri Lanka is no exception. We also know that Sri Lanka is part of the United Nations, and criticizing United Nations make no sense, as it's a world body that includes all the countries, including Sri Lanka. Also, it's our president who made the commitment to the United Nations Secretary General for accountability and transparency for its actions during the war and aftermath, when he met the United Nations Secretary in New York some years ago. And of course, there's nothing to worry for us if we do not have anything to hide. For us, unfortunately, we did not have a competent foreign minister like late Lakshman Kadiragama to navigate our actions and our policies to justify our actions during and after the war. There were some media reports that President Mahinda Rajapaksa was angry with the External Affairs Ministry, the way it handled the High Commissioner, UN High Commissioner of Human Rights, visit. And no wonder you cannot get good results when you do not have competent people in the right places. Now, what is important is not to demonize High Commissioner Navai Pillai, but to address our issues. After all, Sri Lanka is a country that is coming out after 30 years of war. And of course, we will make mistakes, we have made mistakes, but we should know how to correct it when we realize we are not right. War victory is not one or two people's victory, or for that matter, one family's victory. It's a victory of all peace-loving people in Sri Lanka. So many people, especially the soldiers, sacrifice for this victory so that we can live in an environment where there are no suicide bombings in public places or near schools especially, so that we can live freely. So we cannot let the United Nations, the world body, to make Sri Lanka a pariah nation. But we have to address the concerns of the world body in an intelligent way. Instead of government trying to silence the media, government should try to silence some cabinet ministers so that world would not laugh at us. If nothing can be done when some important person or people come to Sri Lanka, government at least can send some of those political jokers abroad so that they would do what they love to do, waste the taxpayers' money for their own good and comfort. At least they will be occupied in other things without opening their loud mouths, showing their ignorance. Now, President Mahinda Rajapaksa is right to apologize to the High Commissioner Pillai for the offensive remarks made by few ministers about her. It's highly unnecessary, those remarks. It would be good if there was no reason to apologize, like these people were not ministers to begin with. But politics are politics. There are ways to engage when you do not agree with somebody. I'm sure Minister Mahinda Samarasinghe, Minister Basil Rajapaksa did that. Even our President Mahinda Rajapaksa, according to some media reports, had said to the commissioner what he had to say. That is what we should do. Tell what we want to say in a nice, civilized way. Demonizing High Commissioner Pillai would not take us anywhere. Just because she's Tamil origin does not make her LTT sympathizer. What about Lakshman Kathiragama then? What about Neelan Tiruchelvam? Now, Commissioner Pillai was the first non-white woman on the High Court of South Africa, appointed by none other than President Nelson Mandela. She served as a judge of the International Criminal Court and president of the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda. Whether we like it or not, she will be the United Nations Human Rights Commissioner till 2014. So let's stop political theatrics and act intelligently. If external ministers do not know how to manage our foreign policy, better to appoint a new foreign minister. If we want to show that we are genuine and sincere about reconciliation, better start implementing the LLRC recommendations we ourselves had came up with. And also, let's find perpetrators who harass media people and let's bring them to justice. In other words, let's put our house in order.